Hi kids, remember, don't try anything you're about to see at home.
We're not actually trained professionals, but we sign many waivers.
Welcome to Moravian Myth-busters, the show where your favorite hosts, LJ Zickman and Nick Heimbach, tackle tales of fact and fiction. So sit down and strap in. This could get messy.
Welcome to This Week on Moravian Myth-busters. We've got an entire episode filled with res life-related myths.
Our first myth, actually, we got a lot of emails about this, and I don't know about you, but I've heard a lot about that RAs are actually out to get people.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Trying to get residents in trouble.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it sounds a little bogus that, people would try and, waste their time sitting up and waiting to get people in trouble. It kind of sounds a little ridiculous.
I know, but we've heard this from a lot of people, and there's lots of things about it on the internet, and we've looked into it, so we're actually going to test this one first, and I think it's going to be pretty exciting.
All right, well, let's get right into it.
So the first myth our dynamic duo is taking on has to do with whether or not RAs are actually out to get you. Let's see what Nick and LJ have set up to test this myth.
Alright, so we're here tonight in this luxurious Bernie Willie dorm room, and we're here to test the myth that RAs' jobs are basically to get you in trouble.
Kind of like a quota.
So we brought in these acoustical noise enhancement specialists, and they're basically going to help us create a little bit of noise after quiet hours.
We're going to test the myth and see if our RA will write us up at the drop of a hat because they need to fill their quota for the end of the month.
Quiet hours. Yeah, just gotta respect other people on the floor. Gotta keep the music down.
So, you're gonna write us up now, huh?
No, I wasn't planning to.
But it's end of the month.
Not sure what you mean.
It's the 30th.
Yeah, don't RAs have a quota at the end of the month? You have to have a certain amount of write-ups?
No, RAs don't really have a quote. I mean, the least favorite part of our job is writing people up. So, like, we would never just write someone up for, any old reason. I mean, it had to be a really bad case. So, I'm not planning to write you guys up or anything like that. Just, as long as you keep it quiet, everything should be fine.
You're not gonna walk out of here and write us up then?
No.
No, you sure?
Yeah.
So the quota thing isn't real?
No, not at all.
The guy down the hall.
Yeah.
He indicated it was kind of
is he an RA?
No, but yeah, he knows the
he
guy
got written
that's...
up once.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not an RA, so he wouldn't really know what the job is all about, so, just trust me on this one.
Alright, sounds good enough for me.
Thanks.
Alright, you guys have a good night, alright?
Okay, thanks.
So, I guess we can say this one's kind of busted.
I know, well, thanks to the help of our acoustical noise enhancement specialist, I think that this one's pretty much a closed case.
I'm a little shocked, actually, I gotta be honest. I heard a lot about these quota things, and I'm not expecting this.
This myth is busted. Our second myth discusses whether or not RAs actually have a life outside their job. To shed some light on this subject, we sat down with an actual RA, Rebecca Angstad of Joe Smith, to talk about her social life.
So, Rebecca, would you like to maybe shed some light on the subject of this myth that we're trying to overcome?
I'd say that's completely false because I'm on the tennis team here at college, as you can see with my Moravian tennis sweatshirt that I have on right now, and tennis pants. But, we do a lot of stuff together. We try to do movie nights together, and we did a spaghetti dinner one year and just all ate together and had a lot of fun with that. So I have that whole family. And I also do stuff with MCCF, and that's a Christian fellowship here on campus, and we do fun things like have Chinese parties, we go bowling, we go to the movies together, we go to this stuff up at the hub together. I'm in a service sorority, so I do a lot of stuff with my sisters there. We do a lot of service events together, and we sometimes get hot chocolate together and just hang out. And I don't know, I do a lot of stuff here on campus, so I'd say that's not true.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you for your insight on this.
Sarah Lucci of Spangenberg also corroborated Rebecca's story.
Well, Nick, that myth is 100% false. I, as an RA, am involved in many other activities other than RAing. As you can see, I am a member of the sorority Zeta Tau Alpha, in which I hold an executive position. I'm also a proud member of APE, Association for Peer Educators. Awesome. We do condom parties now called Jeopardy! I also hold down a part-time job at Wachovia Bank, and I'm a private tutor. So really, being an RA allows me plenty of time to participate in other activities.
It looks like this myth is history. Our next myth puts the aerodynamic properties of RAs to the test. Can they actually fly?
Let's test the myth, whether RAs can fly or not. I'm going to be thrown off of this roof.
Well, while that wasn't at all graceful, Molly made it in one piece. We'll call this one plausible. Our next myth tackles the idea that going on rounds is actually boring.
So to look into the myth of whether rounds are really boring or if they're a little bit of fun, we've teamed up with Kim Travis here, a real live RA, to see what a regular night of rounds looks like in Bernie Whitley. So, all right, Kim. So tell me a little bit about what you do on rounds, because we hear a lot about RAs kind of just walking through the buildings trying to find people doing really bad things. We've heard a lot about these duty binders being something that made people cry. You know, it's something that you use as like a tool of torture almost. What can you tell me about rounds?
Well, we go around the building, make sure everything's okay. We like to go into rooms, meet people, meet the residents, make sure they're all right. This is our duty binder, and it just holds the keys in case someone gets locked out of their room. Stuff like that.
So it's basically basic information. It's not really something you torture people with?
No, we don't torture them.
That's
Not at all. Hang on, here are some residents that live in the building. Hey guys, how are you?
Hey, Kim.
How you doing tonight? Good.
Doing well.
What are you doing?
We're watching TV.
Alright, so she's actually still talking to some of the residents. It seems like this is something she does on a fairly regular basis. It kind of does seem like rounds are a little more than just wandering through the buildings looking for people doing bad things. And the residents seem to welcome it too, so it's kind of nice when the doors are open around here, but I'm not really sure how long she's going to talk.
So rounds don't really seem that boring after all. I guess this one's busted too. This next question is one we get a lot from people who are interested in applying to be an RA. Do RAs have to be perfect people? Now this myth is just kind of ridiculous. No one is perfect, and no one expects you to be. But if you're genuinely interested in making an impact in the Moravian College community, then I encourage you to pick up an RA application. What have you got to lose? And so, on the basis of sheer craziness, this myth too is busted.
Alright, so that was a pretty interesting day.
Yeah, I mean, we've really learned a lot about, what people think about RAs and how many of these myths were really busted.
It's really weird. I really expected some of these to come true, to kind of turn out to be something that people weren't just talking about, but we pretty much busted all of them.
I mean, except for that one that RAs can fly. I mean, we did make that one plausible, so I mean,
We do need a little more testing on that. There's a lot of little variables in there, but I think we just need a higher building next time.
yeah, I don't know. Well, and maybe a different RA. I mean, maybe maybe she was feeling sick that day. I mean,
That's possible.
lots of variables.
But next week we're going to be looking into hauntings on South Campus, see if the supernatural activity is really real.
Yeah, maybe we should also look into.
Well,